Hey guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome to another vlog, another summer holiday vlog. So my last vlog actually ended yesterday and I wasn't planning on picking up the camera again so soon. However, we have some overripe bananas. So I thought we'd do a little bit more baking and make some banana bread because I know that's something the boys will enjoy. I don't like banana bread. But I know that the boys will, so I thought that'd be something nice for them to do. And I think my plan for this vlog is to just kind of pick up the camera when we are doing something, essentially. And I don't know, maybe I will think of another topic to talk about in this video, but at the moment I have a little lady in my arms. I need to get her dressed. I'll be getting her dressed in a minute, but we got her new medications yesterday from the hospital, and let me tell you what a palaver that was. So apparently they were prescribed by Avery's paediatrician. An email was sent over to the pharmacy for them to be dispensed. So I sent Josh over there in the evening before the pharmacy closed after he finished work, and he got there and there was nothing there for Avery. They hadn't had an email, they didn't have a prescription, and obviously they couldn't dispense anything without a prescription. So I spoke to Avery's epilepsy nurse. She had no idea what was going on. Her paediatrician wasn't in yesterday, so she couldn't sort anything out. Plus this was outside of business hours by this point. So Josh ended up going up to PDOBs. Luckily Avery has open access, so you know they are a little bit more likely to help us. And we managed to get them to prescribe it so that we could at least get the meds. However, when he went back to the pharmacy to pick them up, they said, okay, the topiramate is actually a very high dose, so you might want to double check that. So by the time I was actually able to get in touch with her epilepsy nurse again, like I said, this was outside of business hours. It was actually this morning. Turns out the dose was right. However, that was the dose that would be the kind of end dose. We definitely shouldn't go in and just give her that dose straight away. She needs to be weaned onto it. So I'm so glad I didn't just follow the instructions on the bottle, and I actually waited to hear from the epilepsy nurse. So the plan is to start the topiramate tonight. However, we have the clobazam, and I think my initial thought with the clobazam was to just leave that unless we felt as though it started to get worse again. But this morning, Avery has woken up incredibly fussy. She seems maybe ever so slightly congested. The twitches are still happening, and I'm kind of feeling as though maybe we should just start that course. It is only a short course, like 3 days, 5 days if we feel like it's necessary, to just break the cycle. And if it was just about breaking the cycle and the twitches weren't getting worse, I might have just said, for the sake of not making her drowsy, let's just leave it. However, because she is extremely fussy this morning, we don't know why, and because she sounds a little bit congested and just seems as though something is wrong, I am terrified that she is getting ill. So I'm thinking it may just be a good idea to do this short course now, break the cycle, and hopefully hopefully things will get better for her then. I need to make that decision within the next hour or so, because if she's going to have it today, then she needs to have it within the next hour or so. Epilepsy nurse is in clinic at the moment, so she can't really help me with this decision. I did speak to her this morning and she's basically said the same thing that I've just said. It might be worth just giving it to her anyway to break the cycle, especially if you feel like she could potentially be getting poorly, because as you guys know, if Avery gets poorly, she ends up usually having a bigger fit. And we don't want her going into status again, because, you know, that can be life-threatening. So really we're just trying to weigh up, I say I, because I'm kind of in the decision alone at the moment. I'm just trying to weigh up the pros and cons. Yes, it's going to make her drowsy for a few days. It's only a short course. I didn't really want to put medication in her body if I really didn't need to, because she's already on enough of them. But in the grand scheme of things, if she is getting poorly, she could potentially have an even bigger fit, and the clozapam could stop that from happening. So yeah, need to make that decision relatively soon. I've tried calling Josh as well and texting Josh. He's obviously at work, so he's not able to respond, so I really feel as though this decision is on my shoulders. So I'll let you know what I decide to do. But yeah, when she woke up this morning, when I went into her room, she was congested. Like, I could tell her nose was a little bit congested. You know how it's like when you first start to get cold, you just feel a little bit congested. And then the fact that she is fussy and upset this morning, she doesn't want to be put down. I'm not too sure what's wrong, and usually those are kind of the telltale signs for us that she's getting poorly. And the twitches are no better. I wouldn't say they're any worse than the last couple of days, but they're certainly no better. She's still having them. So yeah, that is where I'm at. But anyway, I'm going to get this little madam dressed. And what are you doing? Who's that? Is that you? Is that you? Oh, what was that? What was that? Yeah, I'm gonna get her dressed, and then I'm gonna call the boys down. I'm not gonna get all the ingredients out into the living room like last time. I think I'm just gonna make the banana bread in the kitchen. I want it to be quite a quick bake. I want to use up the bananas, and obviously I'm not going to bake with the boys home without letting them help me, so I just want it to be a really quick bake, get it done, make this decision on Avery's med, and yeah, then it will probably be time for her next feed. So where does the time go, baby girl, eh? Just want to pop on here to say and excuse the state of my oven. It really needs a clean, but I don't even like banana bread, but this smells so good. I added cinnamon and I think that is what I can smell, but oh my goodness, it smells so good. Got about another 25 minutes before it's ready to come out the oven.
You're chilling when the rain. You're some kind of butterfly. Baby, you give me midnight. You whip up my appetite. Don't leave me here high and dry. Baby, you give me ice and fire. You're channeling wind and rain. You're some kind of butterfly. Don't leave me here high and dry. Oh.
Morning guys, oh sorry, afternoon. Avery has just finished her feed. I just need to sort out this stuff, get it all put away, get the milk put in the fridge. And then, I think, since it's the first day this week that it has not rained all day, I'm gonna get the kids out the house. We've been stuck in all week. I think we need a bit of fresh air, a bit of a walk. So, I think I'm going to take them down to Tesco, see what new school clothes they've got in, and see if we can pick up their stationery. They need a little bit of stationery this year, or next year, next school year. I don't need too much in terms of school clothes this year, just because they did change schools in January, so a lot of their stuff is still good. It's just Eli, now that he's going into Key Stage 2, he will have a slightly different uniform. He's now going to need white shirts, and also the trousers that I bought him in January were borderline too short, so I thought it might be worth just getting him a couple of pairs of longer ones. I'm not going to focus on school shoes just yet. I'm going to wait until a little bit more into the summer holidays for that, purely because, I don't know, in case their feet grow anymore. I like their shoes to last the entire year. That's why I like to spend a little bit more money on them, because I know they will last. I did used to get Clarks. Clarks have gone through the roof. So one year my sister-in-law actually suggested M&S shoes. So I did. At the time they weren't much different to the price of Clarks, but now I think Clarks have gone up quite a bit. I think last year the M&S school shoes were around the £40 mark, but they're decent quality. They do last all year. So I've done that for a couple of years now, so I'll do the same again this year. I do have an M&S in town. I actually started Avery, let's just move that out of the way. I started Avery on her clobazam dose this morning. Her nurse said if the twitches aren't getting any better, it might just be worth adding it in. It's only a short course, kind of acting as a bit of a breaker. So I started it this morning because I felt like she would benefit it mostly first thing in the morning when she was having the clusters. The clusters weren't as bad this morning with the medicine, however she is still having the twitches, so I feel like it has helped, but she's only had one dose. She needs to have it for a minimum of 3 days, so that's 6 doses, potentially pushing to 5 if we feel as though she needs a bit longer on it. However, the Pyramate, I think that's what it's called, that is something that she stays on, I guess, until we find out if these twitches are epileptic or not. So that's the plan. Medicine, I'd say, made her very relaxed. It didn't make her so kind of dopey to the point where I didn't like it. It didn't look very good. It felt like she was kind of, you know, out of it. It wasn't like that at all. It kind of just made her calm. It made her still. But she was still alert and happy, if you know what I mean. So yeah, that's good, because that was one of the things I was nervous about with this medicine. I'm looking at the weather now, and I've been saying all day that we would go out this afternoon while it's not raining, and it's just gone quite grey all of a sudden. I'm gonna go anyway because I need to get out of this house for a little bit. The boys need a walk. I mean, they won't thank me for walking them to Tesco, especially Zach. He's got a real thing about walking. He doesn't like to walk anywhere, but the fresh air will do him good. So Avery actually had her physiotherapy appointment this morning, and considering she was a little bit relaxed from her clobazam, we just did a few kind of gentle things with her this morning, but she showed me something that I thought I would show you or let you know about, because I wasn't told this and I actually found it really useful, because I mentioned to her that I'm a little bit concerned about Avery's feet. Oh, Puddin', you've done a poo. We're gonna have to change your bum in a minute. They're starting to kind of tilt outwards a little bit, kind of turn outwards slightly, and I mentioned that when I put her feet in the splints, it's almost like the splint doesn't hold her foot straight, and she said when I'm actually putting her foot in the splint, turn the foot, if she will relax. Are you gonna relax? I need to wait for her to relax a minute. If I turn her foot inwards like this, so kind of towards her other leg, place her foot in like that, because you kind of anchor the bones down and then the rest of the foot will lay where it should, and then the foot is in the splint correctly and her feet are in the right posture to kind of help keep them straight. And I just thought that was really interesting to know, because I wasn't taught that and I was getting worried about her feet. So she did say it is tone from the cerebral palsy that's causing her feet to turn like that. But that was really, really helpful to know. So I just thought I would share it in case there's anyone, well, I know there's a lot of you guys whose little ones wear splints, but in case there's anyone who's experiencing the same problem that's maybe new with splints, and you find that they're not holding their feet straight. Yeah, I just thought it was worth mentioning in case anyone's in the same position as me and didn't know that. So I'm going to change this little one stinky bum. She's in her gorgeous little dress from Temu today, guys. Oh my goodness, it is so cute on her and it's really nice and soft. Yeah, I'm going to change her bum and then get the boys ready to go. Get you in your pushchair. Yeah? So I think, as it's not actually that warm today, I'm finally gonna pull out my jacket that I bought. I showed this in my mummy makeover haul that I did a little while ago. I think this is from Pretty Little Thing. I'm not 100% sure, but I love it and I've not had a chance to wear it yet. So I'm gonna pop this on, although looking at the weather, I am probably just gonna stick a raincoat in the pushchair as well, just in case. And I finally got my Birkenstocks, which were a gift from my mum, and I'm absolutely in love with them. I'm definitely converted, so I'm going to pop these on as well and start wearing them in a bit. If you follow me on Instagram, then you will know that I did also treat myself. I gave myself a gift for my birthday and bought myself a black pair as well, because after I saw the ones that my mum bought me and tried them on, I actually really love the way they look, and apparently once you've worn them in, they're the most comfortable sandals you'll ever wear. So I did buy myself a black pair, so now in my eyes I have a black pair and a brown pair, which essentially go with pretty much everything. So it kind of eliminates the need for any other summer shoes, aside from maybe one nicer pair to wear for nicer occasions. And then I do still have my chunky black sliders that I use as kind of like my garden shoes, I suppose. I also thought, since the weather is a bit grim, I would try Avery's little raincoat on her that I bought from Primark a little while ago. I think this would look perfect with the dress she's wearing. This is in a couple of sizes up from where she is right now. However, I think with a coat it's nicer to be oversized, especially with Avery's dystonia. This coat doesn't have any stretch, and with her tone and whatnot as well, it's just going to be easier to get on her with it being a bigger size. So yeah, also I have strapped my beautiful Teddy Blake bag to the pushchair. I am so excited to be able to have this bag. I've just popped Avery's little nappy pouch in there, and then there's just a few of my essentials in there as well, because this is my bag essentially, but because we're literally just going to the shop and back, all I really need for Avery is nappies. She has just gone to the toilet, so hopefully I won't actually need to use them when we're out, but it's nice to have a bag of my own, and just makes me feel a little bit more put together. So for little outings like this, where we're really not going far, we don't really need much, that bag is going to be perfect for me. However, bigger outings where we've got to take feed and meds and everything else, it'll be the baby bag. And the baby bag that Avery's got is one we bought from Disney World when we went this year, so I still do really, really love it. It's just nice to have a bag of my own when I don't need a baby bag. So I'm gonna pop this coat on Avery, get the boys down, get their coats on, and head to Tesco. We just got back. That hill kills me every time I walk up it. I mean, look at me. I'm sweating. Anyway, managed to get pretty much all we went out for, which is really, really good. They did have the school uniform in Tesco, which I was really happy with. So I picked Eli up some white shirts and some grey trousers. Hello, Eli. And then also couldn't resist this at £6. I picked up this little sweater dress for Avery for the autumn winter. It's 12 to 18 months, but what I was thinking was she tends to grow out of She tends to grow out of dresses really quickly anyway, so I was more thinking this with like a nice pair of leggings on underneath as like a long top, a nice little winter outfit, and I just liked the colour as well. It's only £6, so I thought that was a bargain. Picked up some milk because we are completely out. Picked up a few stationery bits, so I got them each a ruler, a sharpener, some glue sticks. These are all things that school have said if they're going to have a pencil case, then these are the things ideally that would be in them. We don't have to get them, but I just wanted them to fit in. So, and some rubbers, erasers, whatever you call them. Zach picked up, Zach was like not picky at all with pencil cases. He just wanted to grab something plain and simple. I tried to get him to go a little bit more out the box from the clear, plain, bog standard pencil cases, and showed him these little rubber ones, like they're like a rubbery type material. It's quite nice to feel, to be honest, so I thought that'd be quite good for Zach and his kind of like sensory things, that wasn't really a good way to describe it. His sensory input, I suppose, because if you're new to my channel, Zach is autistic, so he picks up this pencil case. I've already got pencils and coloured pencils and stuff like that to put in their pencil cases. Now Eli, on the other hand, we were looking at through the pencil cases and he was going to choose one, but then he said all of his friends had Smiggle pencil cases and he really wanted to fit in with his friends, which obviously pulled at my heartstrings. So me being the pushover that I am, took Eli to Smiggle there, and Zach had the option to do the same. He really wasn't bothered, he just wanted a plain simple pencil case. And I got Eli the same one as his friends have, so he says apparently it's really cool and got lots of different compartments.
Gaming.
It does have a little calculator and it also has a sharpener, which I was quite annoyed that Eli wasn't aware of. Because I could have saved myself 40p on the sharpener, 40 or 60p, however much it was, but there's somewhere to write his name. Why, what's on the buttons?
So you can press this one.
Oh, okay. So you press the buttons and the things pop out. So he says the rubber can go in there. I'm not too sure if your rubber, actually your rubber might fit in there, to be honest. Then you've got the little calculator there. And what about this one? Oh, that was the rubber one. And we've got this one, calculator one. What about this one? Oh, there's the sharpener there.
This one.
Oh, and then there's the one down here that has space for pencils. You can also just open up the front to get to that bit there, and then it also has a compartment at the back. So I hope this fits everything he needs in it. It should do, but he said all of his friends have got it. Essentially, that's why I let him splurge a bit on this one. This was £14. If any of you have shopped in Smiggle, it is not the most affordable stationery shop, but it seems to be all the rage at the moment, so I let him be part of the crowd, and I feel good about it. I feel good that I've, you know, let him do that, because they did only move to this school in January, and even though they've kind of settled in really well, I just want to make sure that they don't feel like they're on the outside in any way. Especially with, you know, our considerations to move at some point. I just want to make sure that they feel as though they fit in wherever they go. So yeah, that's pretty much everything I picked up while I was in town. I say in town, I literally went to Tesco and then we went to Smiggle on the way home. Anyway, Josh is home now. He's just upstairs having a shower. I am going to get things ready because we are going to go to my mother and father-in-law's because Josh is going to pick Marley up. So need to get Avery's stuff ready. I ended up taking the coat off of her literally within 5 minutes of being out the house because she was getting far too hot in it, and I'm just really worried that she's going to spike a fever. I'm still not convinced she's not going to, so I will update you if anything happens. Overnight, let's all pray, keep our fingers crossed that it does not. But yeah, I'm gonna go and guzzle some water. Afternoon, guys. It is Saturday. It's been a pretty chill day, to be honest. I thought I would pick you guys up now because my granola jar is empty, and instead of buying more, I just thought I would make some. I've made homemade granola before. It's super easy, and I think what I like about it is you can pretty much throw whatever you want into it. The main ingredients really are oil, some kind of like syrup, so maple syrup or honey or something, and oats. They are the base ingredients, and then everything else is pretty much choice. So I've just got some maple syrup, some sunflower oil, my oats, and then I've got some seeds, and I've also got some nuts here as well. So I'm going to make a really simple granola. I don't like dried fruit or anything like that. I do have some banana chips that I'm going to use to make a trail mix for the boys. But things like that, and like chia seeds and stuff like that, I can always just add into the jar once it's cooked, because they don't necessarily need to be roasted with the granola. So for quantities, I usually just pull up a recipe from like BBC Good Food or something, but like I said, I tend to tailor it to what I like in it. So I'm just going to start with 300 grams of oats. I've just got bog standard porridge oats. They tend to do the same job. I've actually got 313 grams in there, but that should be fine. I'm gonna just add some seeds. I don't know how many that'll do. Got 67 grams in there, to be honest. I don't really care about the weight on the seeds. Same with the nuts. I'm just gonna throw in some nuts. And that's all my dry ingredients. So now I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of vegetable oil. Technically I have sunflower oil here, but it should do the same thing. And about 125 grams of maple syrup. I mean, it says 125 mil, but I'm just going to do grams because I really can't be bothered to measure this out in milliliters. I'm pretty sure what I just put in then wasn't even actually maple syrup. No, it's maple flavoured syrup, but again, it doesn't really matter. It doesn't. I think I've done it with maple flavoured syrup before. This, however, is maple syrup, so hopefully that will balance it out. I know a lot of people use honey. Again, like I keep saying, that's kind of why I like making granola, because you can pretty much tailor it to the way you want it. Some people use coconut oil instead of vegetable oil. Some people use olive oil. Essentially all you need is oil, some kind of syrupy consistency thing like honey or syrup, and oats. That's it. So now everything's in the bowl, I'm just going to give it all a mix together. If I feel like I need to add anything else, I will, like if it's not coming together. But essentially you just want everything to be coated in the oil and the syrup, just so that it all sticks together. I have only lined 1 baking sheet though. I've got a feeling I might need, whoops, that went everywhere. I've got a feeling I might need 2, just because I want it to be quite a flat layer, otherwise it won't cook evenly. So Avery has had quite a chill couple of days on purpose. Like I said, we started her on the clobazam, and it has been making her just a little bit more, I don't want to say drowsy, it's not really drowsy, but she's not quite as keen to really do anything, which I get. I'm really hoping this will only have to be a 3-day course, so tomorrow will be the last day. But actually I haven't seen nearly as many twitches. I've literally spotted a couple over the last, well, yesterday I saw a couple more than today, but it's working, so that's a really good sign. I mean, it's a good sign in the sense that, you know, she's getting a bit of a break from these twitches, and hopefully it will just help her brain reset a little bit, because like I've mentioned before, the seizures can be a bit of a snowball effect. So hopefully that is just resetting her brain a little bit, giving her body the chance to rest and heal. The clobazam is hopefully just going to break the cycle. It's going to give her mind, her brain a little bit of time to reset and rest, so that hopefully when we stop the clobazam, they don't come back. Whether or not the clobazam has stopped them means that they were epileptic or not, I really don't know. Avery does have an appointment with her paediatrician on Tuesday, so that gives me time to discuss all of that with her then. I think I'm going to add maybe 1 more tablespoon of oil, just because it's looking a little bit too crumbly. So yeah, I hope that made sense. I'm feeling a little bit delirious today, to be honest. It's been one of them days where we had absolutely nothing planned. It was supposed to be a really quiet day, and it has been a chill day. You know, we've not been doing anything too exciting, but it's just been one of them days where I've ended up having a lot to do when there really wasn't anything to do, if that makes sense. So yeah, I'm just going to make this granola and then it'll be time to feed Avery, so at least that does force me to stop and chill for a little bit. Obviously it's Saturday, so Josh is home today. So that is all coated, that is what it's looking like, and I'm just going to pop this into my baking tray. Like I said, I don't know if I'm going to need to line another one. I'm just going to put some in here and see how I feel, because I think the idea is you kind of want it together, you want it quite tightly packed, but you don't want the layer to be too thick on the base, because then the granola is not going to bake evenly. Do you know what? It's all going in. I've committed. I really don't think it's going to be worth me getting out another baking tray. I think this will be fine. This is quite a big baking tray anyway, to be fair, so I think it will be fine. So I'm literally just cramming this down as much as I possibly can. The boys actually ate some of my granola this week. They've really been enjoying it, so hopefully they like this too. So that is what it is looking like. I'm fairly happy that that'll cook evenly, so I'm just gonna pop this in the oven. My oven's on 150 and that's a fan assisted oven, so hopefully it will be okay. I think the oven's a little bit off in temperature though, so I'm just going to keep an eye on it. Probably going to bake it for around 10 minutes or so, and then leave it to cool completely before I put it into my granola jar. So this is just about cool enough to start breaking up, and literally all I'm going to do is break it up a little bit. I like to have chunky pieces of granola, probably about that size. So I'm just going to break this up and pop it all into my granola jar. So I really didn't think that one batch would be too much for this jar, because this is quite a big jar. I've just popped the rest of it in this empty one. The only reason why it's empty is because I'm saving this for when I start making the boys' trail mix for school. I'll obviously give it a good wash out before I actually start doing that, because most schools nowadays have a no nut policy, and this is like loaded in nuts. So I've had a little nibble on it. Josh's had a little nibble on it. Josh thinks it's dry, but it's granola. You're supposed to add it to things for the moisture. But yeah, it tastes nice. It's not too sweet, which I like. If I want to sweeten it up, I can just add a little bit of maple syrup to whatever I'm having it with. And I know the boys will enjoy this too. They've actually had granola with yogurt a couple of times this morning, which is why I ran out. Did I just say this morning? I meant this week. Anyway, I'm gonna crack on and cook dinner for myself and the boys now. We're just gonna have spaghetti bolognese. Josh doesn't like spaghetti bolognese. Please tell me I'm not the only one in thinking that he is an absolute sociopath for not liking spaghetti bolognese. I know a few people that aren't too keen on it, but it's like my favorite meal. But I have Maltese blood, so maybe that's why I kind of like Mediterranean Italian type foods. Anyway, yeah, I'm gonna crack on and make dinner. I mean, it's already, what time is it? It's already 5:15, so God, it's nearly time to start the bedtime routine as well. So yeah, I'd better crack on and cook dinner. I'm not feeding Josh, by the way. He usually has something different. He's got some like southern fried chicken bites in the freezer that he'll probably have tonight. But he's been boredom eating today, so it wouldn't surprise me if he's not hungry yet. So yeah. Excuse the state of me. Not long got out the shower. Oh, Missy Moo. Avery's just finished her feed. She's incredibly floppy at the moment. Like, her head control is so poor. I can only put it down to the meds. Yeah, so I've just been sat here reading some of the comments from the video that went up tonight. It was my vlog with the nursery tour and redoing my spice jars, and you guys are so nice. I haven't got around to replying to anyone yet, but that is my job for this evening when Missy Moo goes to bed. I'm gonna give this little madam a little bit longer just to make sure her feed is settled, and then I will be putting her to bed. She's actually gotten quite good at going to bed awake, which is really nice, because for a really long time all we could do is rock her to sleep. So that's been a nice little change, and it's nice that she can kind of self-soothe and put herself to sleep. It's a nice step in the right direction. I think we just got so used to wanting to cuddle her and just, oh, my earring's attached to her hair, wanting to cuddle her and just having her in our arms all the time and just not wanting to let her be upset, you know, for obvious reasons, that she got a little bit spoiled from it maybe. So it's taken me quite a while to try and get her to a place where she doesn't need to be rocked to sleep all the time. So yeah, it's been nice, hasn't it, Puddin? Eh? Being able to go to sleep on your own? Avery? I love you. Avery. I love you. Avery. Can you say Mama? Can you say Mama? I love you. Anyway, I think I'm gonna close out this vlog here. I'm sorry that it's been a little bit all over the place. I'm not gonna lie, the last few days have been a little bit like that, especially with Avery going onto this new med, just kind of keeping an eye on her, making sure it's not making her too drowsy. And then, like I said, she's gone a little bit floppy from it. We can stop it after tomorrow, so that's another thing. It's also made her reflux a little bit worse as well, so I think it's just made everything a little bit more floppy. We can stop it after tomorrow though. I've seen barely any twitches today, so hopefully it's broken the cycle. And after she comes off it, I'm just keeping my fingers crossed that they don't come back. But we do have an appointment with Avery's paediatrician on Tuesday, so I will update you on how that goes, probably in my next vlog. But until then, I'm gonna get you to bed, and I put in, hey? So yeah, apologies. if this vlog has been a little bit all over the place and I've just not seemed quite like myself, and also if this vlog happens to be a little bit shorter than my usual vlogs. It's just been a bit of a weird few days, but hit the thumbs up button nonetheless if you enjoyed it, and subscribe if you would like to follow us along on our journey, and we will see you guys in a few days with another video. Bye guys.